Year 12, my name is Kalarni and I am Tyler Bell's older sister, and today I have gathered a bunch of past Joey students and we have put together a uni guide video for you girls, so highlighting everything about how we got into uni, how we're finding our current university experience, and give you girls some tips and advice. So I hope you guys find this enjoyable. I am my second year at Macquarie University. I'm studying a double degree of law and commerce with a major in marketing. And this is for anyone listening that may not get the ATAR that they want. I'm going to teach you, or tell you, why would I teach you? I'm going to tell you how I got into the degree I'm currently studying. So I didn't get the 97 ATAR for law and commerce, but I'm really passionate about doing the double degree. So I thought, you know what, let's start my commerce degree and see if I can transfer over later on. So I applied for commerce, which was a lower ATAR, and I went to the Macquarie University admissions people and I said, look, how am I going to get into law? They gave me the steps, which was I had to get a certain GPA level, I had to do so many credit points, and I also had to get certain marks in some law units, and then they would accept me. So pretty much I have been accepted now, FYI. But that was the kind of pathway I took. So I didn't get that 97 ATAR. I applied for commerce because it was a lower ATAR and I could get into commerce. So I did my commerce for a year and a bit, and then I transferred. So now I'm still, instead of just keep going with the one degree, I've joined the other degree, and now I'm doing the two together at the same time. My university experience at the moment, I'm in my bedroom on Zoom University, which is a little bit boring. But last year, I had the opportunity to go to University Games, which was on the Gold Coast, and I played for Macquarie University for their netball team. And yeah, we compete against all the universities in Australia, and it's for about 5 or 6 days, so it is pretty full on. But I encourage you, if you are sporty, to really get involved with university nationals, because it was so fun, and you kind of get the opportunity, especially if you're in your first year, to meet people that are not necessarily in your classes. You meet people from different faculties and disciplines. My last tip, at university, you really have to put yourself out there. In comparison to high school, you're in classes with people with different interests. However, at university, you're with people that are more like-minded. Say you're in a science class, you're doing your first anatomy unit, you're with people in your class that are interested in similar things. So it makes the networking and getting to know you stage a lot easier, and I really encourage you girls to just put yourself out there, because you never know who you can meet.
So my name is Imogen. I'm in my third year at the University of Newcastle, studying a Bachelor of Mechanical and Medical Engineering. So pretty much I applied through UAC, and I applied for medical engineering, but I also applied for physio and stuff at Sydney, but then the ATAR was ridiculously high. So University of Newcastle brought out this medical engineering thing, and I like maths and I also like science, and so, you know, combine those two and that's what you end up with. I chose the degree because, you know, I really wanted to make an impact in the world, and that's what engineering does. We make things better. So my university experience is fantastic. I have met so many great friends, and like in about half an hour I'm about to leave because I've joined the mountaineering club and we're about to go rock climbing together. And I also am on the executive team for another society, which is the Med Makers. So we, you know, do medical based engineering projects, and, you know, anyone from any discipline can come. It's a good time, do some social things. So if you head to the University of Newcastle, hit us up.
I'm Fynlay. So when I was in Year 12, I wasn't sure of what career I wanted, but I knew it definitely had to be in science. So I applied through an early entry scheme into Macquarie University, where I got in for medical science. Throughout the first semester, I decided it wasn't for me, but I passed all my units for it, which was good, but I deferred for a semester where I moved to Queensland. This is all really random, but it was great fun. I moved to Queensland, where I worked on a farm, and I sort of decided what I wanted to do there, and I knew I wanted to do environmental science, so I applied, got my credits transferred and applied for environmental science at Newcastle, where I'm also studying a double degree of business, majoring in marine science and management. The biggest bit of advice I could give you guys right now is to not stress about having to make the perfect decision right now. Like, if you're struggling with making that decision, go with what you're passionate about. Like, that's, at least that way you'll enjoy it, and you'll know you'll get a career at the end that you'll enjoy. don't go for the ones that make the biggest bucks. I mean, it's not my choice. Do that if you want, but I'd prefer to be happy in the job I'm in.
Hi, I'm Matilda, and I'm a third year at Macquarie University, and I study a double degree in law and journalism. Now, I applied to Macquarie through UAC, and I got accepted just based on my HSC results the day before the ATAR, which at the time was a big relief. Now, I picked my degree because I was really good at legal studies and extension English when I was in high school, and at the time I really wanted to be a journalist, and I thought that doing a law degree would look good on my resume. But since I've started, I found that I actually really prefer the law side, and it's actually something that I really want to pursue into the future. So since starting uni, I've had a really great time. I love going to uni. I was really nervous before I started about going to orientation and being late for classes. I had to know where everything was. So I went to orientation and I got put in groups with random people from all across all sorts of degrees, and I met one of my friends who I'm still friends with now just at orientation in a random group. So I really encourage you to do something like that, and you never know, you might meet someone who was in some of your classes. And another thing that I do is I'm in the Law Society, and I've written for the student publication The Brief, which is a legal journal, and I also went to Law Camp, which was a great social opportunity to meet first years who didn't really know anyone, and I've met lots of friends there. So I would encourage you to join a society and do something where you can meet people who are interested in your degree or your interests. Now, my advice to you is to not be too nervous about making friends at uni, because I made a lot of my friends just by sitting next to them and saying, "Hi, can I sit here?" So I don't get too concerned. No one has a pre-established group of friends. You're all in the same boat. Even now I have to make friends in my third year in some classes. So I wouldn't be too worried about making friends, and just pick something that you love.
Hello, my name is Isabel, and I'm in my third year of landscape architecture at UNSW. How did I get into uni? I did the whole UAC thing, put down all my preferences, but I realised that landscape offered a portfolio entry. So I put together a 5-page portfolio documenting process, research, and the final creative project. And then they called me in for an interview, and you do a quick interview and they ask you questions like, why do you want to study this degree, and what are your interests, and stuff like that. And then they offer you a position to the degree. So that's an alternative pathway into university. If you have any questions on portfolio, let me know. I can help you out. The second question is, why did I choose this degree? So first of all, I wanted to do just architecture, focusing on the built structure, and the ATAR for that was, like, I wasn't going to get that ATAR. So I thought I was going to just do 1 year of landscape architecture and then transfer into architecture. But the more I learned about landscape, the more I loved the way that landscape is concerned about the urban ecosystems and designing for both humans and non-humans, and how that intersects with our day-to-day life. So the university experience, you meet so many different people at university. You meet people from overseas, people from different parts of Australia, and you really just you just broaden you get out of the Central Coast and you go into, if you go to a Sydney university, there'll definitely be so many different people that you're going to meet. So what I'm trying to say is you'll make a lot of friends. And my advice for the Year 12 cohort of 2020, honestly, just be nice to yourself. It's such an extraordinary time that we're working through, and the only thing you can do is being nice to yourself and just allowing yourself the space to do the things you want to do and achieve the best quality that you can. Thank you. I wish you all the best of luck, and I'll see you.
My name's Julia. I'm in my third year at the University of Sydney, studying a Bachelor of Design Computing and a Bachelor of Advanced Studies majoring in marketing. So in terms of getting into my degree, I basically just went straight through UAC, and it actually initially wasn't my first preference. I got into my first preference, but later decided that wasn't what I wanted to do and had a bit of a freak out, and then just put this in sort of second round and got this. And I think I was initially quite hesitant to choose this degree just because of the amount of coding and computer work and stuff like that, and I never really did anything like that at school. I was very much health science, sort of like leaning towards doing that as a career. And I also chose it because it was very broad. I think I really wanted to find something that sort of incorporated my creative side and like analytical side, because and I really couldn't find anything like that except for this, hence the design computing. And it's also a very new field, which excited me because it is sort of, app development, website design, UX, UI design. So it's very new and it's always changing, which I really like. And in terms of my uni experience, I think just for anyone else, especially coming from the coast and commuting, it is hard because you don't want to go back down there for social activities or anything like that. Like, you're already tired, you just want to come home. But I think it is important, and I am very lucky that I have made a solid group of friends. I mean, I'm not involved in any clubs or anything like that, but I think it is important to, make the time after class to hang around people and stuff like that. And if I have to give any advice for the graduating year, it would definitely be to take each day as it comes. I think that's one thing I learnt towards the end of year 12, and it's that success is really just about being consistent. It's not about pulling all-nighters and cramming and stressing yourself out, although it's definitely what I did. But I've come to realise it's a lot easier if you just don't freak yourself out by sort of looking at the bigger picture. If you just take each day as it comes. And I'm not saying don't look at the bigger picture, but it's always good to have long-term goals, but at the same time, just do the best you can each day and be consistent, and that's all you can really do. So good luck with your exams.
No time for